One of the best ways to learn is through examples, at least for me. When I see an example of a store, for example, in e-commerce that's doing incredible numbers, it really inspires me and it allows me to reverse engineer what they're doing and apply it to other brands. So in today's video, what I want to do is show you an example of a store that's doing exactly that. They are totally crushing it, upwards of $1.5 million a month in a niche that is extremely hot and growing. So this will be very educational if you've been an e-commerce store wanting to scale or wanting to launch an e-commerce store if you don't have one. This will be really helpful. So let's get right into it. We're not going to waste any time. I'll continue to yap here, but I'll yap while I show you some instructional things. So the store is called Goal Zero. Now, Goal Zero is a store that does about $1.5 million a month, and they were created on August of 2020, so around 4 years old. That's a pretty insane trajectory, from zero to $1.5 million a month in 4 years is not bad at all, especially with these types of products. Now, if we look at their traffic distribution, we can see immediately that they're continuously growing. These are the trends that we like to spot, especially if we're looking for inspiration, right? You don't want to get inspiration from a store that is going downhill. You want inspiration from stores that are crushing it. And just so we're clear here, I do want to show you that, we're doing a lot of cool things at Akemi. We're spending a lot of money, seeing a lot of revenue going through the company. And it's kind of the reason why what I do here is so valuable to me personally, and therefore probably to other people. Is that, we're overseeing millions per month. And when I'm able to analyze these stores, I can then sort of note down in my mind, like what they're doing to succeed, and then be able to translate some of those ideas to either our clients at Akemi, which is my company, it's a media buying agency, or some of the stores that I own, maybe provide extra strategy for other brands as well. It's really cool. It's what I love doing, to be honest with you. So it's perfect that we have this community here on YouTube that actually likes this kind of content. So let's explore first and foremost some of their store, right? Because obviously a Shopify store is extremely important these days. You definitely want to have a Shopify store, no matter if you're a TikTok shop, if you're an Amazon shop, if you're a brick and mortar store. Having a Shopify store, I think, is absolutely essential, especially if you want to capture, a community, if you want to build an email list, if you want to do all these things that, make a brand a brand. So, their store is actually quite simple. It's really well done, though. They're doing a lot of really interesting things. They're talking about different events, different use cases for the product. I really, really love that. Wow, I really love this animation right here. This is super, super clean from a website development point of view. You can achieve this through a lot of different paid themes on Shopify. There's one that's called Motion, and it does, similar things as this. Now they have some new products here, some more stuff. What I want to do though is go to all their products and basically look at the best sellers. So if maybe we just click shop, we'll see all products, and then we can maybe try to filter this. So let me see, power stations, solar generators. Wow, these are really cool products in my opinion. I think solar is obviously a growing niche. It's definitely a great way to generate energy. And a lot of people, this is a little bit of a side tangent while I figure out how to get to their best sellers. A big issue with, for example, the development of AI, which is obviously massive, is not like the bottleneck is not going to be the computational power that we have. It will be the energy production that we have. Like we can't produce enough energy to sustain how fast AI is growing, especially when you consider things like Bitcoin as well and how big that's growing. Like all these things require a ton of computational power, which is one bottleneck. But the biggest bottleneck of all that apparently not enough people are talking about is the energy production behind that computational power. And one of those ways, or one thing that could potentially solve that, is solar generation. It's going to take a long time, but these baby steps definitely help. So I'm not an expert in energy, but I have read a lot about it, and it definitely seems like a viable form of energy production, even though it's only like 5% of the total energy right now. So we need to take it up a notch. We need to really, really start using more solar energy and getting better at this sort of technology so that it can produce enough power to sustain the growth of technology. But these guys are at the forefront of that, right? I mean, they're, they got a really cool offer. All these are different offers. So that's kind of a really instructional thing that we can cover right now is how to create better offers, right? So this is really smart, like taking different products that you have, maybe that you have stock for, right? If you have inventory for your business, and combining them together to create different offers. I mean, these guys have done it here. It's pretty cool. So you can buy the Yeti generator and the panels together, and you get a special deal on it. So, $2,200 for potentially being able to generate, like, I don't know how much energy. It doesn't sound that crazy, right? Like, that doesn't sound super crazy to me. But again, I'm not an expert here. What can this power? So it can power smartphones, tablets, laptops, headlamps, grills, light bulbs, microwaves. So, you could live off of this thing, basically. It seems like if you have like a small home. So for $2,200, you could power your mini home if you have one. Like, that's actually really important. Wow, super cool. So, that this is one of their best-selling products. It's an offer. So that's a really good thing that you can keep in mind for your store, right? Is creating an offer that's similar to this, that just incentivizes people to buy more. And here's another thing that's important to note. It's probably not a great thing to note, right? Like some of the bad reviews, you hate to see that. But the thing is, I like to show you this because it will remove some of the limiting beliefs that you may have. A lot of people really overthink the process of launching a business, and they think about all the things that could go wrong, all the customers that may be upset with them. But it's kind of stupid, no offense, to worry so much about that before you even launch, right? It's probably better to fix those problems as you go. I think the idea of like building the plane while you're flying, obviously it's dangerous, it's risky, but it is the best way to do it. Otherwise, you're just never going to launch. That's one reason actually why we have, for example, at Akemi, we created this free training and free Shopify store. You can get it in the description. It's literally this right here. And it's literally 100% free. It's super cool. So it'll get you from 0 to 1, right? That's probably one of the toughest things for people, is going from 0 to 1. And then, of course, if you need any extra help, we have some ways that you can go from 1 to 20, 1 to 50, and then 50 to 100. That's kind of what the accelerator is all about, but that's besides the point. Let's actually take a look at some of their ads now that we saw their store. We saw that they too are fallible humans. They get some negative reviews here and there. They're not, immune to negative reviews despite how big the brand is. So if we go to store leads here, we can probably find their Facebook. And if we find their Facebook, we can find their ads. So a lot of people still kind of neglect the power of meta ads. I think that's a huge mistake. I think meta ads definitely are a powerful system for growing your business. But where people do, there's people are at extremes. They're either just not using it enough or just, relying too much on meta ads. I find that so much from, 7, 8, and even 9-figure brands that I've worked with. So just word of advice, don't only rely on your Facebook ads, right? Try to, do other things as well. Try to create organic content. I think those are just the two most powerful systems. That's what we try to apply at Akemi the most, is organic systems with paid ad systems. That works super well. And as you see, they're running a lot of ads, 25 different results. If we go to just active ads, that will be a little bit better, just so we see what they're running right now. And as you see, one of the most popular formats, which again, this is pretty helpful if you're launching an e-commerce business or you have one, is Instagram story placement, but with an image. So you can create images like this pretty easily on Canva. I think with these things, the most important thing is understanding like the copywriting and who you're actually appealing to, their desires, their pain points, or just basically the reasons why somebody would buy something like this. And they're using a lot of these images. So that's clearly a winning format that they've found to be either profitable or at the very least getting really good metrics. So I would suggest you test that placement out, or just, create ads in this format and then run them, right? Run them as on Instagram, on Meta ads. Because what you can do is you can launch that on Instagram reel placement, Instagram story placement, and Facebook reel and story placements as well, which are undervalued. And I think for a niche like this, it would be pretty awesome, since a lot of people do actually use Facebook, believe it or not. And they do browse Facebook and use it as a social media. Oh, my cat is being crazy. Don't do that, Nina. So yeah, it's kind of insane. You want to say hi? This is Nina. So this is one of my kitties. She's pretty playful. She's nice and very sweet, but sometimes she gets in trouble because she's just too curious. Classic cat thing. But yeah, that's their meta ads, and this is definitely where they're getting the majority of their sales. But as you see, they have a YouTube channel that's growing, so they're also running YouTube ads, which is really smart. I think that works well for this. There's a lot of people looking up content, for example, such as like van life content, people who live in vans, and this pairs very well with with Google. Of course, Google ads allow you to run YouTube ads on the same platform. So similar how on Meta you can run Facebook and Instagram ads on the same platform, when it comes to Google, you can run YouTube ads and Google ads on the same platform. Very powerful systems. I do want to make some more courses related to these systems, because I understand that not everyone's willing to, pay my agency in order to run these systems for you. If you're a business, maybe you're just getting your business started. So I do plan on working on more course content. And of course, Academy members will get those. But I do want to make it perhaps a separate thing as well for people who just want a specific course. I don't know. Give me your ideas, right? I want to know your ideas. I love to serve you guys, right? I want to know what you guys think. That's why we made these free resources as well. Yeah, that's about it for this video though. Peace.